The topic I'm going to talk about today is the Account Payable section. Account Payable will start using the purchase invoice under Account Payable when the purchase receipt in distribution is completed, when the purchasing process is completed, or when you need to open a purchase invoice. You can open a purchase invoice under the Finance module. The purchase receipt you just opened will be in the waiting list of the purchase invoice. Here, I will select one and click Create button. So, the purchase receipt that was made in the past was changed to a purchase invoice. There are invoice dates and periods. You can select and change the invoice date and period as needed. I will also type the description. After that, I will check the units and warehouses that came from the other side. I will check whether the quantities are correct and the unit prices. After that, check if there is VAT code and click the Save button. Then you should see Save Complete. After that, the invoice should be released. Only then can settlement and payment of this invoice continue. Then the release of the invoice has been completed. You can proceed to the payment stage of this invoice. The next thing I want to show is the AP Open item. AP Open item means you can find the status of open purchase invoices from vendors. Filters include posting date, project, branch, vendor code. Depending on this, if you select whether the status is open or clear and click Go, you will see open purchase invoices below. Next is the AP Prepayment section. When to use the AP Prepayment part, it is used when paying in advance to vendors. Then we will start creating a prepayment form by clicking Add button. The sections that you will see here are the existing prepayments. To create a new prepayment, select Vendor Deposit as the type. Then select Period, Posting Date, Branch. If there is a reference number and description, you can enter it. We will choose whether the current payment method will be bank transfer or cash. After that, you will choose cash or bank account. I will enter the prepayment amount now. You can choose which vendor to enable prepayment. Now the vendor has been selected. You need to check on amount and rate. If you are sure, click Next button. After clicking Next, you will see whether the data entered is correct or incorrect and what the requirements are. What you see now is a form when you click the Next button. Here, I check the correctness of the invoice date, currency, posting date, due date and vendor that I have just entered. Also check for AP amount and enter amount. If you are sure, you can attach it to the attachment. If you have completed a prepayment form, click the Save button. Now you can click on the ID number after Save Complete. This is the ID of the relevant prepayment form. If you click the link here, you can be directed to release the document. What you see now is that a record is saved as a form, and if you click on this link, the form will be completed and will continue to work. Here, the status is open. For that, click on Request Document from Action. Then this form becomes a request and the status becomes pending. It needs to be approved from the pending level. The prepayment process will be completed only when you see the approved status like this. So, I will click here to continue our process. Here, the status was still pending. So, I will approve the document from action. Only if you had approved the document, the status will become active and prepayment process will fully completed. Another thing I want to talk about is AP settlement. AP settlement uses AP settlement when making payments to vendors either as prepayment or as cash back. So, we can see this list according to the values that we can see in the from date and to date that we have filtered. Now I will create a settlement. In the type, you can choose settlement or payment voucher or vendor refund when refunding money to vendors. Since I will be making the payment, I will choose settlement. After that, you have to choose the period and posting date. You can choose the vendor which you want to make payment. Then click Next. Now, you will see the relevant amount. After that, the vendor, posting date, period and branch that you selected earlier will appear. As you can see, we have this much balance and AP amount. We will arrange the payment for this, so an invoice must be attached here under Different. Here, I will choose cash on hand as account code. Next, I will choose branch. Then I will add it to the credit side because I have to make a payment. After adding, you should see that the balance becomes 0. Since the payment has been completed, click Save and you should see Save completed. If you click on the link after this, we will add the voucher that you paid earlier as an invoice. As you can see, these are the invoice that we had made the payments. After that, the payment is still in open status, so we will make the request document first. Then the document has become a request. Click this link again and get approved. So the status of AP settlement what I did now is pending. Since it is pending, we need to be approved. Only then will our payment process be completed. So I will click on Approved Document. If we have seen approved on here, we had finished paying the AP settlement to vendors. This is all about account payable. Thank you.